Governor Mike Braun says Indiana will cooperate with the federal government to remove undocumented immigrants across the state. He signed an executive order today directing law enforcement across the state to do just that.
13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker was there as the governor made the announcement today and now explains for us who this measure targets.
Governor Braun described the executive order as going after the worst first, undocumented immigrants who may already have had a criminal history in their country of origin and then came here to Indiana and committed crimes, but the governor did not specify where he believes this is happening in the state.
Indiana is going to be a state that is going to help get people that came in here illegally and then committed crimes and are dangerous back out of the country.
Braun's latest executive order directs law enforcement across the state to cooperate with ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to remove undocumented immigrants. Under Indiana law, police are already required to cooperate with federal officials.
For the few places that may not be abiding by the spirit of that, we're going to make sure they do.
When asked how much this could cost local authorities, the governor said he didn't think local jurisdictions would incur much of a cost early on, explaining that's a more relevant issue down the road.
The harder it gets to be for the federal government to find that next level of illegal immigrants that have committed crimes, I think that's when that question becomes relevant.
Right now, the House is considering a bill requiring sheriff's departments across the state to sign an agreement with ICE to participate in immigration enforcement programs, something sheriff's departments have had the option of doing for decades, but have not until this point. House Bill 1158 would make participation a requirement. One program calls for ICE to train and authorize local law enforcement to serve warrants on undocumented immigrants already in jail. Committee members did not vote on the bill because the cost is still unclear. The Indiana Sheriff's Association called the issue a sensitive subject, saying they're neutral on the bill. Several sheriffs told lawmakers their departments already notify ICE when they arrest someone who's undocumented.
I'm open to the training as well, but I'm not open to let's bring in this and do this and start digging. I can speak for my office only. I don't have time to dig.
We are not agents of ICE. We will support ICE like we do any other federal organization, but we're not going to go outside the walls of our jail to do their job.
Governor Braun said Indiana is going to do what the federal government asks.
I'm going to direct any of our authorities to not resist, and hopefully they'll be compliant on their own. And I think a large part of the jurisdictions across our state will be without any push from this office.
Governor Braun also addressed the Indiana National Guard, who have been deployed to Texas to help at the southern border, saying he'll keep that in place. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
And another program in that bill that was heard in committee today calls for training so that county jail staff can identify and process undocumented individuals who are in jail and then report it to ICE.
And immigration is a hot topic this legislative session.
And the governor likely is going to talk about it once again as he prepares for his State of the State address, which you can watch live right here tomorrow night. It's on 7 o'clock on Channel 13. We also will have it for you on our free streaming app, which is WTHR Plus.
All right, let's set that there right now and pick up Angela.
It was kind of a pick-me-up today to have the sunshine again.
Yes, rinse and repeat, bring it on.
We can do it again tomorrow, and we'll have a sunny start to Thursday before the rain arrives. So we'll cover all of that for you in the 7-day. Lots of sunshine right now. Temperatures in the 40s for most of us. 45 Bunker Hill, 43 at the Country Club of Indianapolis, 41 Carmel, 43 Noblesville, and 46 degrees in Brown County. Oh, the snow continues to melt. Temperatures this evening will stay mild for the end of January in the upper 30s and low 40s over the next several hours under a mainly clear sky. And a mainly sunny start as we head to school and work early Wednesday morning. Morning temperatures in the middle and upper 30s. This is a mild start. Middle and upper 30s, that's close to our average high for this time of year. And we're expecting middle and upper 40s tomorrow afternoon, and that is mild for late January. High temperatures stay in the range of the upper 40s and low 50s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that's despite some rain that will move in later Thursday into early Friday. That's our big rain chance, and I'm going to have an early look at the local timeline for you in just a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Angela.
Just minutes ago, a federal judge blocked a freeze on federal assistance, which was supposed to go into effect across the country.
We want to bring you the very latest now on this breaking news. The White House Budget Office ordered the pause on all federal grants and loans. Now, right before this move from the judge, this move would have impacted trillions of dollars in government spending and halt public programs that would affect millions and millions of Americans. Not clear which programs specifically would have come to a standstill.
But we do know the freeze would not have affected Social Security or Medicare benefits, as well as assistance provided directly to individuals.
This is a breaking situation. There is a lot to unpack here, but as you can imagine, there are a lot of local nonprofits that provide social services that were bracing for the news, the impact that the freeze could have on them, and worried how long this pause ordered by the White House potentially could last.
Rich and I talked with leaders in those organizations today about their concerns. He's here to tell us what they told him and how they've been reacting and really bracing for a potential change.
Well, now they obviously have something else to react to, right? This pause has been put on pause. So I talked to several organizations and agencies for their reaction. Many told me that they're closely monitoring the situation, but not ready to comment until they understand the impact more clearly. The United Way of Central Indiana provides a variety of social services in partnership with other nonprofit organizations. Those programs are targeted toward improving the quality of life for people living in or near poverty. Many of those organizations depend on federal grants for a significant portion of their funding.
The reality is that any real delay in receipt of grant funds means you're going to have to stop programming. You may have to lay people off or furlough them. And that's incredibly disruptive to the lives of the individuals and households that rely on the services that are provided by nonprofits.
Late this afternoon, Indiana Congressman Andre Carson released this statement. Trump is illegally holding Americans' hard-earned tax dollars hostage to push his own extreme agenda. Much of the criticism of the pause is that these federal dollars already have been authorized by Congress to be distributed. And local organizations say the pause, when and if it happens now, would ultimately hurt the people who need these services the most.
Yeah, so this is an ongoing thing, and it's changing hour by hour, day by day. I know we'll keep an eye on it. Rich, thanks so much. Tonight, here in Indianapolis, firefighters are trying to figure out what caused a fire where they found a man dead.
Now, it happened just before 9 o'clock this morning near 38th Street and North Franklin Road. That's on the northeast side of Indianapolis.
Firefighters tell us they found the body of the 62-year-old man when they arrived on the scene. Right now, they're not suspicious of anything that happened there or the circumstances surrounding how that man died. Also tonight, an Indianapolis man is under arrest after a Metro Police drug dealing investigation. Investigators say earlier this month they learned that Matthew Dillon was selling large amounts of marijuana out of a home on the northwest side of Indy. They then found nearly 50 pounds of raw marijuana, more than 400 THC vape cartridges, nearly 4,500 rounds of live ammunition, 7 rifles, 7 pistols, and nearly $47,000 in cash. Dillon now facing charges of neglect of a dependent, dealing and possession of marijuana, as well as maintaining a common nuisance.
Tonight, a 40-year-old man is under arrest in Tippecanoe County, facing preliminary charges in a stabbing. It happened around 1:30 Monday afternoon in Lafayette. Police officers say they found a 42-year-old man who they thought had been shot, but later determined he'd been stabbed. However, officers also found shell casings in the area, confirming there was also a shooting. Officers say they found the suspect with a gun in the area and arrested him. He faces several preliminary charges, including aggravated battery, possession of a machine gun, and criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon.
Tonight, Indiana state lawmakers are trying to find new ways for communities to raise money to make their roads better, because the truth is the state is running out of dollars to do it.
So the proposed bill would give more options to tap into while putting the responsibility on local governments to maintain roads. Tonight, our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick shows what this means for Indianapolis.
House Bill 1461 would give Marion County 3 new tools to solve its road funding issues. The first, charging more for vehicles. The money from that tax is pulled together and distributed out in hopes of helping communities where roads are used more. Under the bill, the flat rates could increase dramatically in Indy, with the maximum vehicle tax of $150. The second are delivery fees, ranging from 50 cents to $1 per delivery. If Marion County adopted the 50-cent version, it could raise $26 million to repair wear and tear of the roads. The third is raising property taxes. This option is only for Marion County. It would allow the county residents to vote through a referendum to increase property taxes, which would then be used to pay for road work. Currently, the bill is in committee and will likely be up for a vote in future weeks.
And coming up at 6, I'll explain why city leaders only like some of these options. In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostick, 13 News.
And according to a recent report, it would cost Indiana an additional $1 billion a year for the next 10 years just to maintain the roads they have now. So you can read more about this proposed bill right now on WTHR.com.
Tonight, Madison County Sheriff's deputies are trying to figure out what led to a deadly crash there.
The coroner identified the pedestrian who died as 55-year-old Sherry Everett of Pendleton. Deputies believe she was walking on a county road around 6:45 last night. That's when the driver of a van hit her.
A release that came from the Sheriff's Department did not reveal what happened to the driver of the van.